Hello guys, welcome to part 1 of this new course on YouTube on plasticity. So I will get started guys, but I'd like to talk briefly about my kind of new business model. So before I would make a course, and I have to always explain every single program that will be used in the course. So for example, every time I use 3ds Max, I have to explain 3ds Max from scratch and plasticity and everything else. But now the way I'm going to do things guys, I'm going to have the free courses and playlists on YouTube to get you familiar with all the programs, Max, ZBrush, Blender, Plasticity, 3D Coat, all those programs. And then the courses I sell will be how to take those skills you learned from YouTube for free and apply it to a project. So free courses on YouTube for how to use the program, and then the paid courses on Udemy, for example, Gumroad, and other websites, is how to take those skills you learned and then apply them to a whole project and push those skills to the next level. Alright guys, so here is a fresh plasticity file. The first thing you'll notice, and by the way, let's look at the, I've also got hotkeys in the bottom right. So, first thing we're going to look at is preferences. I am using mostly default things guys. I've got a few little custom hotkeys. And I also here for the navigation, I've switched it from the default plasticity to 3ds Max. So if you want, for this first video, I'll go ahead and switch it back to plasticity default. Okay? So let's see how we use that. So the middle mouse button rotates, right mouse button pans, and the mouse wheel scrolls closer and further away. So once again, middle mouse button rotate around, right mouse button pan, wheel to scroll in. Alright, so that's the default guys, but I'm gonna go back to what I use all the time, which is just I like to keep similar hotkeys in all programs. So I don't see the point of having to use different navigation hotkeys, different programs. I just prefer to use a single unified setup. And since I'm more familiar with Max, I'll just choose Max. If you're coming from Blender, use Blender, Maya, Moai, anything else here, Fusion 360 and Rhino. So if you're going to use the Max setup guys, then it's middle mouse button to pan, Alt to middle mouse button to rotate around, and then a Control Alt and middle mouse button to zoom in and out smoothly, and then also you can use the mouse wheel as well. Alright guys, first thing you'll notice is that we're in orthographic view, and while this is useful for some situations, I prefer actual 3D view, so you click this button right here, that's a 3D view. Alright, this next one here. So guys, as with all programs, there's always tons of buttons everywhere. I'm going to simplify things and get you up and running in plasticity very quickly. So this is all the little grids and things like that. Alright, we have a X-ray mode. I believe the default hotkey is Alt-Z. If it's not the default hotkey, here's how you can make it your hotkey. So F is the button where you can search for all the commands. So that's, for example, I'll look up X. You can see Viewport X-ray toggle. It's Alt-Z. You can right-click on this, assign shortcut, add to favorites, unset default shortcut. So there you go guys. So whatever it is here, you can set it to be Alt-Z if you prefer, or whatever your hotkey you want. That's Alt-Z. If I zoom in closer, you can see what's actually happening here. It creates this little bit of an X-ray mode right here. And then next we have the render mode, which is, once again guys, plasticity is not for the ultimate rendering, but there are some little render features for how things show up here. But I usually just keep that off. Alright, next, one thing you may not have is these custom little matte caps. Don't worry about that, we'll do that in a future video. The default matte caps are just fine for most situations. So this is the default. I prefer to use something like this or that. But there's also some ones like this. If you're wondering what these are for checking how reflections operate. Now the unique thing about these two matte caps is that, for example, if I were to select this and I press M, so select an object, I just press M, and then you can change the color. Okay, so let's say I change it to a red. Now notice, even though it's red here, so here you have our outliner that shows you all the objects you have here. Here is the default object, solid 1. It's red, but notice how it's not showing up as red. That's because this default matte cap does not show your colors. But if you switch to this one or this one, notice how it does show it. Alright, Alt-M is to reset it to the default white. Alright, so for example, if I were to Shift D and then I press X to move it out, All right, let's say I'm working with something here. I got this here, and I got this pure black. I would need to switch to not this one, but one of these two matte caps to see it. All right. Alt M. All right, guys. So you can click right here, double click to change it. You know, you can change it to cube, whatever else it is. We'll cover the outliner more in a future video. For now, guys, I just want to get you up to speed with what Plasticity can do here. And for your homework, I want you to just go ahead and have fun. What I'm going to show you here, I want you to go ahead and use those tools more. So, essentially, at the top left here, you have different ways of controlling your object. You have vertices, so you press 1 for vertices, 2 for edges, 3 for faces, 4 for the whole object. And so, what I want you to do right now, I want you to press 2 for the edges. I want you to select the edge, and I want you to go ahead and press D to start to fill it out. You just move left and right here. All right, now one interesting thing about Plasticity that I really enjoy is that by default, for example, all I have to do is click on this edge, and automatically it goes into fillet, because it assumes that's what you want. And so we kind of have this like default behavior. If I go into faces and select this, it assumes I want to push it. So it's already there. And so the default hotkey for starting to work with this is just to press D. So once again, you select the face and you press D and you start to push it in and out. You select an edge. So I go from 3, I press 2, select an edge and D to start moving, guys. So D is kind of like the default hotkey to start doing the default action. All right. Now, when you press D and you start to fillet it, at the bottom right here, you'll notice some modifications you can make on the fly to the current tool. If I press C right now, it's going to switch to chamfer. It's going to switch to chamfer mode. D, fillet, C, chamfer. So guys, what I really like about Plasticity is just how intuitive it is and how it's just very easy to get started with it with very minimal things to know. All right, so go ahead and move this left and right, and then right click to confirm your action. Next, you can just select this edge or this one or that one and press D and it'll fill out this whole thing. So the way it works, guys, is it automatically knows there's supposed to be a loop right here. However, to select the whole loop, you just hold on Alt and left click. It'll select that whole loop, but you don't really need to. You can just go ahead and select one of them and press D, all right? Or C for chamfer. So I think you guys are seeing right now how Plasticity is pretty good, really good for a hard surface crisp modeling here. All right, so select an edge here, hold shift and then add to your selection. So you can simply left click, hold shift, left click, then you press D and you're gonna go ahead and fillet this. So guys, your homework for this video is to go ahead with your default cube and just to try filleting and chamfering in different orders and just see what you can do with it. Now, of course, if you try and chamfer too much, you will get an error, and there are some limitations here, so be aware of that. But Plasticity is pretty good about letting you, as you can see, fillet a lot. Also, guys, if you would like to buy Plasticity, use the code Aramis10 for a 10% discount. All right, so other tools that we have available to us, with the faces, you can push and pull it out. All right, guys, here's a nice little pro tip. Do not give yourself small fillets until you get the basic shape blocked out. Because when you have small fillets here, it will take a longer time to react. It will produce more errors as well. So if I, Control Z. So guys, when it comes to big fillets, big chamfers, you can do those. I like to put fillets in two categories. Design fillets, which are the big ones, which drastically change the shape. And then small ones like this, just for little micro details. So for example, this is a big fillet, a design fillet, because it changes the shape drastically. Whereas this right here is a little extra detail fillet. And actually, guys, you can export your mesh like this, and then in your render program of choice, your render engine, you can have a little chamfer happening at render time, like a fake chamfer, which is actually better for most situations, I think. Unless you want to do a high quality model with like extreme zooms, you just can get away with just doing this at render time. All right, so if you keep things simple, guys, you will have this behavior happening much faster. Whereas if you have this filleted, it's going to be a lot slower process. As you can see here, it doesn't even work. Like I tried and pushed this out, and it's kind of getting this bad result, guys. So you can either press Control Z, but you can even delete your fillets. How do you do that? Well, you hold down Alt and you left click right here, and you press X. X, just like in Blender, is the hotkey for deleting things. And what's cool about Plasticity, guys, what I really enjoy is with some programs like Blender, you have the Boolean system and you have to keep track of all those Booleans and things like that. However, in Plasticity, it's such a powerful program, you can simply delete your changes. For example, how do I get back to the original cube, guys? Well, it's very simple. I hold down Alt and I delete this, and then I select that and delete that. So you don't have to worry, guys, about having all these little tools you gotta micromanage. If you want to undo the change, you simply go ahead and delete it, and for the most part, it will work. We're back to the default cube, guys. So, to give you an example of that, like what you do in Blender, and I'm not trying to bash Blender, guys. Blender is a great program, but I just want to show you why I enjoy using Plasticity as well. So what you would do in Blender is you kind of have like all these hidden objects, and you always have to like micromanage them. But if I don't want this in Plasticity, I select this, I hold down Shift to add to that, and I press X. Let me try that again. I pressed the wrong hotkey. I press X and it's gone, guys. No need to micromanage any objects here, a million objects. You just delete what you don't want. So guys, another piece of homework for you is to go ahead and do some fillets and chamfers, and then simply select them and just press X to delete them, and you're back to the default. So practice doing that as well, guys. You will start to enjoy Plasticity. So you select the face and you press D to move it out. You select this and you press D. So homework, practice doing this as well. Practice doing some large design fillets. Try, guys, chamfering in different orders. Like here I did this, and then try chamfering maybe this one next, or filleting this one next, and just seeing how you can design, guys. And then select it and then move it and just have fun, guys. If I fillet this, you notice that a sharpness is occurring here. Well, I can fillet it even more. So there really is kind of no end to the fun with just filleting, guys. So I don't want to overwhelm you with too many tools, guys. Just fillet and chamfer and just get used to these tools because you'll be using them a lot. And try to, for example, fillet and chamfer and then fillet. In some situations, guys, let's say it's like this and I try to fillet it. Notice how it does not go all the way down, right? It kind of limits, ends right here. To bypass that, hold down Alt and then left click. Select that whole loop. And then D. Alright guys, I think that's it for part 1. I don't want to overwhelm you. You now know how to switch materials. And then you also know one of the most fundamental tools to use, fillet and chamfer. And you also know how to move things out. Alright, one more tool I'll let you guys end the video with is number 4 for the whole object. And also, I want to let you know how you select with objects. So, if you click from the top left or the bottom left, you have to select the whole object. You have to move the cursor, the little selection box, on the whole object is selected. Notice how it's not selected until I go all the way, and then boom, it's selected. However, if you left click and hold from the top right or bottom right, you only have to hover over the object that's selected. Alright, to move, the default hotkey is G, just like in Blender. Then you have X, you press Y, you press Z. If you press Shift Z, Shift X, or Shift Y, you're going to eliminate that hotkey or that movement axis. So for example, let's see what you want to move it only on X and Y, but not up and down. You press Shift Z to eliminate the Z axis, and you're moving only on here. And if you don't want to deal with those hotkeys, simply use this. Alright, and also Shift D is the hotkey for cloning. Then right afterwards, it assumes you want to move it, so go ahead and press your preferred axis to move it. Alright guys, that is it for part 1. Your homework is to have fun filleting, chamfering, moving faces, moving objects. Thank you for watching, guys, and take care.